Glück auf YouTube und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Kommentar der Entwickler, Kapitel 6, Unser gemeinsamer Feind.
Alex! Dr. Freeman, you made it!
Hey! Boy, are we glad to be here.
Yeah, we heard you ran into a little trouble out there. The Combine's been trying to hit in the front door. I think they learned their lesson. You mind if we do dog patrolling out here?
Not at all. You heard him, dog. I'm gonna go see Dad. I'll catch up to you later. You take care of yourself.
I don't think Eli knows you're here yet. He's in Silo 1 access unit, right through here.
Shall we?
Ja.
Anything anymore.
E-Rohr.
Oh no, what's that?
All right, back to work, everyone. It's just another false alarm in the secondary silo.
Same old Dr. Magnuson.
You ever used an AR-2 before?
AR-2? No, nah.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Gordon, man, you made it.
Dad,
Alex.
I was so afraid I wouldn't see you again.
There, sweetheart, we're together now. That's all that matters. And look at you, son. I knew if you both stayed together, you could get through anything.
Yeah? We make a pretty good team.
Yeah, well, that's good because, well, now that the suppression field's down, we all have to do our part.
Dad?
Can you blame an old man for wanting grandkids? What happened to you?
Dad, it's not what it looks like. I'm fine.
Are you sure? Shouldn't we have that looked at?
Really, I'm fine. Where's Dr. Kleiner? We should get this data to him right away.
Okay. Yes, we should. He'll be glad for a chance to get out of the silo. This way, Gordon.
Sofort.
He and Magnuson have been going at it. You'd think they were still competing for grant money.
Some things never change.
In sketching out the scenes for the episode, we noticed a lack of interpersonal conflict between the characters who had survived from Half-Life 2. Alex, Eli, and Dr. Kleiner have a lot of affection for one another, as you will see in many of the scenes. And while we all value the benefit of strong, positive relationships, we were happy to have Dr. Magnuson around to get irritated by all the hugging.
Ja. Der Magnussen.
This way, Gordon. It means a lot to me to have multi-ethnic heroine. When I was growing up, that didn't happen a whole lot. I mean, maybe Storm from X-Men, I don't know. But it wasn't commonplace. So to have someone that's my type be in that kind of position is really, really amazing. I mean, I think it's a popular trend now, but that wasn't always the case.
Sofort, Leute.
Do we have any idea how long until the super portal's active?
We don't know for certain. We're keeping an eye on it.
And what about the Combine? Will we be able to launch before they attack?
It's gonna be close. All it would take is one Strider to destroy our rocket. But we're ready for it.
I'm sorry we couldn't get here any sooner, Dad.
Don't worry, sweetheart. I'm just so glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
Last thing I mind was submitting it for the Kleiner certificate of approval. The trouble with the result of staffing and supply deficiencies. And your cranial conjugal parasite away from my nose cone!
Now listen here, Magnuson. There's no call for hurtful comments. Good grief. Eli, why didn't you tell me they'd arrived?
Don't worry, Izzy. They just got here.
My dear, what a relief. Not to mention a delight to see you here at last. And Gordon, I see you in the HEV suit have taken excellent care of each other.
They're inseparable.
The data, people, the data! Kleiner, are you going to sync up the satellite, or should I postpone the launch to make time for a family reunion?
Oh, brother.
All right. I was just saying hello to Alex and Gordon.
Oh, fine. No one grants me a moment's peace, but by all means, unroll the red carpet.
Good grief. I only meant they might... Oh, never mind him. Now, my dear, where is this data packet you've been carrying? If I delay a single moment, I'll never hear the end of it.
You have my word on it.
It's right here, Dr. Kleiner. We've got a ton of data. The strange thing is, it was all attached to a transmission from Judith.
Transmission? From Judith?
Do you mean the message didn't get through?
We've got to see this right away.
Just let me start the decoding process, and then we can view it in the auxiliary control room.
For God's sake, hurry.
Yes, of course.
Another alarm?
Oh, what next in the parade of constant interruptions? Hello? Is anyone there? Anyone? False alarms all day. Damn crows have been nesting in the tracks. I do not know how I am supposed to concentrate with all of this racket. Freeman, you're not doing anything. Make yourself useful and find out what the hell is going on in there.
Yes. Gordon, if you don't mind, I'd feel better if you had a look.
Catch up with us when you're done.
Oh.
Freeman!
Due to the number of characters involved in this scene and the cramped spaces, we found that the actors were constantly pushing the player around in order to get to their marks. We developed some tech that allowed the actors to gauge the position of the player and the other actors, and choose among a selection of marks. This not only solved the congestion problem, but made scenes feel more dynamic.
That's good.
Dr. Magnuson was the result of a decision to bring forward another signature character from the original Half-Life, along the lines of Dr. Kleiner and Barney. As we developed the character, we kept referring back to this line from Half-Life to keep us on track.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. We've assured the administrator that nothing will go wrong.
Though we liked the character who came into focus, we found that this voice was sounding too much like a caricature for our increasingly grim and realistic world. We like to hire actors with the natural voices that we want for our characters, as opposed to hiring actors to create voice characterizations. In John Aylward, we found someone who could deliver the brusque arrogance of the original lines, and also take the character forward into some of the richer and subtler opportunities we foresee for him.
Quickly, man.
If you listened closely to the Vortigaunts in the Antlion tunnels, you may have heard one of them using a complaint very similar to Dr. Magnuson's here. Their affinity to Dr. Magnuson has caused some of his mannerisms to spread among them by way of their low-grade telepathy.
Okay.
Rather than just make up something that would fit our fantasies of a rocket, we designed Dr. Magnuson's rocket around blueprints from the Titan family of missiles. Grounding the details of our world in reality, making them as precise as possible, makes the invented, fantastic elements seem that much more believable.
Allerdings hättet ihr euch ein bisschen an dem sowjetischen Modell orientieren können, weil wir sind hier immer noch irgendwo in Osteuropa, nicht bei der Amis.
Attention personnel, this is Dr. Magnuson. Since the secondary silo staff seem incapable of solving their little crow problem, you will be happy to hear we have put the popular Dr. Freeman on the job. We all look forward to his remedy, and I look forward to hearing the staff's excuses for why they couldn't handle it themselves. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, shut up.
We intended White Forest to offer a change of pace from the constant action that preceded it. A few moments to reunite with old friends and get to know Dr. Magnuson. A breather before the big battle ahead. However, our first version of the sequence was a logjam of long, talky scenes. Gordon and Alex stood around listening to Kleiner and Magnuson argue at the top of the silo, then rode an elevator to the bottom of the shaft while Dr. Kleiner lectured them about rockets and satellites. They wandered into a control room to watch Dr. Mossman's transmission, and then hatched a plan to get her back. We knew we were in trouble when even the authors of the scene were bored, and no one had the patience for the revelations that followed. We divided the sequence into a number of smaller pieces that could be interleaved with solitary exploration and some combat. This required rebuilding the path and moving the control room upstairs, where the transmission scene became a reward for surviving the secondary silo. As a result of these changes, the White Forest experience is more varied, the narrative comes in digestible portions, and the players are able to play at their own speed, rather than being led by the nose the entire time.
Ja, das ist wirklich sowas, wenn du dann so einen elendig riesigen Textblock drin hast. Da.
This steam jet is an example of something we call a mechanic refresher. It's meant to refresh the player's memory on how to perform a certain task they may not have used in a while. In this case, we remind the player about using valves to turn off steam in a relaxed environment. In the map just ahead, this trick will be fresh in their mind, and they'll be far more likely to realize they can use steam jets tactically when they encounter them in a combat situation.
Aber so von der grafischen Ausarbeitung sieht die Rakete schon gut aus, ja. Bisschen drauf rumkloppen. Ja, sup. Danke.
The Magnuson has instructed me to admit you into the secondary silo. The secondary silo can be reached through here.
In Half-Life 2, when we first decided to make Vortigaunt ally characters, we played around with having a prominent Vortigaunt companion. Because of their bowed posture and semi-servile manner, this individual was dubbed Heap, after Dickens' character Uriah Heep. In Episode 2, we named the prominent Vort at White Forest Base Uriah. In Episode 3, we'll find out Dickens' unused middle name for Uriah Heep.
Hold on a second. Ei, wie ist die jetzt? Die ganze Zeit noch eine Taschenlampe angehabt beim Handy. Scheiße. 37% Akku. Uriah Heep, ne? Okay. Ich bin die ganze Zeit von der Band ausgegangen. Uriah Heep. Lady in Black. Und so, ne?
Originally created as a minor background character, the Vortigaunt lab assistant, known internally as Labby, was so popular with playtesters that he evolved into a fully developed character with a unique name and a special place by Dr. Magnuson's side.
Oh, hey.
Many of us are fans of Lost, and we noticed several strong Half-Life references in the first season of Lost. Gabe Newell and Lost creator J.J. Abrams exchanged fan mail, and Gabe promised Abrams there'd be a Lost reference in Episode 2. We delivered on the promise in this obscure area of the White Forest Base.
Okay, es gibt auch Half-Life. Ich muss wahrscheinlich mal Lost schauen. Ich hab's beim Kumpel mal ein paar Folgen geguckt, aber mittendrin und auch sehr zusammenhangslos, weil ich eigentlich nicht so der Serienfreak bin. Aber das ist interessant. Das finde ich auch geil, dass die hier halt die Fresse, dass die hier tatsächlich einen Kommentar zu diesem Easter Egg gemacht haben.
Magnuson must have sent you, huh?
Wie steht's?
Oh dear, this is a breach. A breach. Attention, personnel. This is Dr. Magnuson. We are experiencing a breach of internal base defenses. Please bear with us while we fit parts of the breach.
Don't you fucking tell me what to do. Peace up, peace jetzt. Hey! Diesmal haben ja tatsächlich auch welche überlebt. Ganz was Neues. Was habe ich denn diesmal anders gemacht? Mal ehrlich, was habe ich diesmal anders gemacht? Ja, ich habe den Kommentar da gesehen, keine Angst. Ja, piest jetzt. Okay, hier ist noch explosives Zeug. Kommentar.
One of the main goals for hunters was to make the player feel he was vulnerable wherever he might hide. This arena in the secondary silo became our testbed for improving the hunter's close combat behavior. A classic combat space, featuring multiple exits and many possible paths, we tuned it for a strong cat-and-mouse gameplay experience. While players have many options for escape, the map is designed so that hunters will never completely lose them, but always be able to pursue and flush the player out of hiding.
Autsch. So, mal kurz hier oben gucken. Mistvieh. Right. Naja, zumindest habt ihr überlebt. Here we go again. Ha! Getroffen. Nice.
Attention, Freeman. It is critical that you seal the overhead silo doors and stop this infiltration.
Das dachte ich mir schon, dass das critical ist. Damit. Damit. Uah. Get fucked.
Level designers and artists now have the ability to create unique effects as needed, for gameplay or to add dynamic life to a level. In this case, this simple water leak wouldn't have been possible before without involving a programmer to create a new class of effect. Thanks to the new particle system, unique effects like this are easily created as needed, without any programming. This leak adds a visual point of interest to the area and also blocks direct line of sight into the nearby corridor, without blocking the space itself. These effects can be placed and controlled within levels, attached to animation events of characters, or called by code. Allowing particles to be attached to objects in the world, emitted from a model's hitboxes, and locked to bone positions allows them to serve a wide variety of functions, such as the new Vortigaunt beams or the burning effect of a zombie. We hope this feature will allow level and mod authors to create a wide variety of effects quickly and easily to suit their purposes.
Okay. Wo kommst du denn her? Schwein, du Elendes. Seit wann kam hier nochmal ein Hunter? Hi. Anybody else? Yeah, but of course.
Freeman, I repeat, there has been a breach of the secondary silo by way of the overhead launch door. I will trust you to seal the silo doors.
Ten out of 10 aiming. Fuck off. Sind genauso Grenade-happy wie die Soldiers in Half-Life 1. Ja, in Half-Life 1. Halt die Fresse. Ah. Das ist zum Beispiel das. Das habe ich im Let's Play übersehen. Das ist mir dann erst beim Rendern aufgefallen. Die Blastdoor war zu.
Is anyone still alive in there?
Hat ja super geholfen. Ja.
This is Dr. Magnuson, and I am pleased to announce the secondary silo has been sealed. Well, back to work.
So, here we go.
Gordon, thank goodness you're okay.
Alles gut.
Glad that's over. We couldn't get in till you sealed off the silo when the blast doors opened up.
Regrettably true.
I better let my dad know you're all right. Dad?
Yes, Alex. Is everything okay? Is Gordon all right?
Yes, he's fine. And thanks to him, the base is secure.
Good, good. We're about to watch the transmission from Judas.
We'll head right over.
The Freeman must follow.
Dabei.
If you would take the Freeman from here, I can return to my place of honor at the side of the Magnuson.
Sure thing. Thanks for the help. Dr. Kleiner told me that Judith headed north in a helicopter right after they got here. But he wouldn't tell me why.
Lorde Doten.
I'm fairly sure I pinned down the location of the project. It's hard to say how much of it might have survived intact, or whether there's anything remaining that could compromise our work, if it were discovered by the Combine. We'll need to take a close look at it, of course, but I should be able to give a better opinion within a few
das ist
hours.
hier.
If the site is where we think it is, then it should be no more than... I'm gonna cut this short. We may have been spotted.
Never have let her go.
There was no stopping her. Wait a moment. There's something else here. It's the Borealis.
Good God.
Incredible.
What? The Borealis? It's real?
Oh yes, quite real, despite its almost legendary stature. Our peers at Aperture Science were at work on a project of some promise. But in their rush to beat Black Mesa for funding, they must have compromised ordinary standards of risk. We heard their research vessel had simply disappeared, vanished, with all hands, and even part of the dry dock. Few believed the Borealis would ever be seen again.
It should have been lost forever.
Ah, but now that we've found it, we can use it against the Combine. Did you
use it? That thing has to be destroyed.
But think of the advantage for humanity. We can't simply waste all that potential.
Has Black Mesa taught you anything? There's no controlling that kind of power.
Well, yes. There's always a risk, Eli. But my goodness, we have coordinates, blueprints, hailing frequencies. Quite ingenious of Dr. Mossman to hide it all in the carrier wave.
Well, that means she's still alive up there. But as a Combine catcher, they'll tear out everything she knows. There'll be nothing left of her.
But we don't know for sure.
I won't take that chance. I'm going after her.
Now, Eli, the only thing worse than Judith falling into their hands would be if they should get a hold of you. She may know the particulars of the Borealis, but you know everything about the Resistance.
Listen to Dr. Kleiner, Dad. Gordon and I are more than able to handle this. We'll get her back.
Kleiner, where are you? Why isn't the decoding finished?
Oh, fine. The code. Yes, Magnuson. It just needs a little bit longer.
If you're waiting for the Combine's go-ahead, they'll soon be here to give it to you in person.
I'll hurry it along, Magnuson. I'll be back as soon as I finish.
Dad, are you okay?
Not again. No, I can't let it happen again. Not another Black Mesa.
Dad, prepare for unforeseen consequences.
What did you say?
Dad! Okay. It's okay. Just lean into me. Let's get you off your feet.
Thank you, baby. I'll be fine in a minute or two.
Okay. Do you need anything?
Actually, Alex, would you mind getting me a cup of tea? There's a hot plate in the old staff room.
I'll be right back. Gordon, just keep an eye on him.
Sure thing.
We're not going anywhere. Thank you, baby. Unforeseen consequences. The last time I heard those words was back at Black Mesa. You had just stepped into the test chamber when he whispered them in my ear. You know who I'm talking about. Our mutual friend. When he brought in that crystal, I knew I should have aborted that damn test, but I didn't. The whole world went to hell that day. And now he's using my little girl, putting words in her mouth. God damn it. I should have known when he rescued her it was for his own damn reasons. Gordon, there's so much I need to tell you. Between us, we may finally have a chance of,
Here you go. Is everything all right?
There's nothing, honey.
All right, people, change of plans. There is no way we can launch before those Striders are... Oh, excuse me if I'm interrupting tea time. I'll just step out until you've finished, if that's more convenient. All right, honey. Well, Freeman, I believe I've found the perfect use for you. Follow me, quickly.
We'll talk later.
I'll catch up with you in a bit. So a lot of times we'll try a line in several different ways, like set a different mood for a different scene, or maybe just do a different take on a line. Like one might be, it sounds trite, but one excited, one not so excited, or one a little more pensive and thoughtful. Or suggestions are always thrown out there for new reads, and it's the coolest kind of teamwork. It's not just here's your script, go. It's let's work this out. Let's find the best middle ground. And everything is always pliable. If it's not working, maybe we'll go back and do an instant rewrite or something. And for me, that's creative heaven. Absolutely.
Ja, klar, wenn man ein ordentliches Team hat.
Aperture Science, being specialized in the development of portal technology, fit naturally into the cosmology of Half-Life. Rather than forcing Portal into the Half-Life franchise, we used it as an opportunity to make our world bigger. By suggesting a long-term rivalry between Aperture Science and Black Mesa, we open up possibilities in both games that didn't exist when they were separate entities.
Ja gut, das wurde aber in beiden Spielen gemacht.
Freeman, Striders are coming. A single one of those damn things could shoot down our rocket. Don't dare launch until all Striders are destroyed. Now, you've proved yourself capable, and the staff seem to respect you. Therefore, I'm putting defense of White Forest and this ingenious new weapon of mine in your hands. We call it the Magnuson device. Not my chosen label, you understand, but it seemed to please the personnel. Now look lively in there. Warm up the delivery port. Whatever you say. Now, what it is a sort of sticky bomb, although cleverer than that makes it sound. From your point of view, you merely pitch the device at the Strider's hull, then blow it up. I've struggled with a mechanism for launching the device, but, well, your zero-point energy field manipulator clears up that little problem. Now follow me, and we'll let you get in some practice while we still have time.
This whiteboard art went through several iterations, from highly stylized to absurd, through to something we believed we could ship.
Ja, dieses Toggle funktioniert irgendwie nicht so richtig.
The Strider Buster, or Magnuson device, started life as a Half-Life 2 weapon called the Hopwire. This was a weapon that would leap into the air and create physical connections via ropes to the surfaces around it. Once attached, the ball would be suspended in the air, ready for action. We never shipped that weapon because it wasn't generally usable enough in our environments, especially outdoors. One side experiment created the Black Hole Hopwire that the mod community found in Episode 1's code. You can still find videos of this in action on YouTube. The Black Hole version created a true physical vortex that sucked anything near it into an incredibly dense singularity. This created a small dense block comprised of all the mass and matter the vortex had collected, which the player could then pick up and hurl at enemies.
Okay.
We returned to the Hopwire for Episode 2, where we thought we could use it to tie the Strider's legs together and make it trip. But the mechanic of hurling and attaching the Strider Buster was more fun for players, so we moved the weapon in that direction.
Uh-huh.
Now, out in the field, we'll supply you with all the Magnuson devices you need through delivery ports like this one.
For the safety of the base, these devices are deactivated. They cannot explode like those you will find in the field.
Go ahead and take the device out of the dispenser. That's right. Now toss it at the main body of the Strider. Good. Now, there you go. Not too difficult at this range, is it? Gets a bit harder when it's moving about and firing at you, of course. Now, let's move on to a more challenging task. Uriah, send the target to the far end of the rails. Very well, Freeman. Try it now.
Damn it.
A bit more challenging at this range, isn't it? As you can see, the Magnussens are fragile. They will disintegrate immediately if they miss their target.
Fischgeballt.
Magnificent device, isn't it? I'll be right over here when you are ready to head out.
Fans of Half-Life 1 may remember a gag involving a microwave oven in the Black Mesa lunchroom. If you push the microwave button several times, the casserole inside it explodes. A memorable experience for many first-time players of Half-Life. In Episode 2, we thought it was finally time to let you know whose lunch you had ruined, and give you a chance at redemption.
Had enough? Your car is fueled and ready to go. Now, every building in the valley has its own dispenser port, so you'll have ample supply of explosives. Now, I must get back to my rocket, Freeman. I'm relying on you not to squander my trust, or my Magnussens. Oh, and Freeman, if you pull this off, I might just forgive you for that debacle at Black Mesa. You know the one I mean, involving a certain microwave casserole.
Ah, yes.
Hey, Dr. Freeman, over here.
One problem we faced in this map was that players would abandon their car in the heat of battle and not be able to find it later. Given the time pressure and large scale of the map, some of these players couldn't succeed in protecting the base on foot. To address this, we started by adding flashing hazard lights to the car, which helped when the car was in view, but we still saw players lose the car among the trees or behind hills. Eventually, we added a vehicle locator to the player's HEV suit, so players could find the car wherever it was.
Okay. Ja, das kann ich mir schon vorstellen, dass es ein reales Problem ist.
Taking a few liberties with your car. Check it out. I added a rack for Magnussen devices back here. I tweaked your onboard radar so the combines show up red on the dashboard unit now. Plus, it'll send a homing signal to your HEV suit in case you get separated from your car. No need to thank me. Now check this map. We're right here at the south end of the valley. Rest of the gang's up north by the old sawmill here. Head on up there, and they'll fill you in on the battle plan. I'll be staying here to watch the field and send status updates. Good luck
Okay.
out there.
We wanted players to use the car as much as possible, both to move around the valley quickly, and to run over the hunters as a quick and satisfying way of killing them. To encourage this, and to help with orientation problems, we added radar to the car, which indicated the location of enemies. This made the car a more valuable tool in the battle, and solved the navigation problem once and for all.
Ah.
You'll find the sawmill at the far end of the valley.
Okay.
Perimeter's clear. Still no sign of incursion. Keep alert.
The massive Strider battle was in production longer than any other map in the episode. Tuning it required many months of testing and iteration to address playtester feedback, and this was complicated by the fact that every time we playtested, we saw individuals adopt completely different approaches to defeating the Striders. Some threw logs at the hunters, others relied on their rebel companions to kill them. Some players never sprinted, while others never used the car. We tried to keep supporting all the different strategies that occurred to players so that their experiments with tactics would be rewarding rather than frustrating. Meanwhile, we had to make sure the Strider and Hunter behaviors were consistent and balance the experience so that it would be great for all different playstyles at every skill level.
Da ich dann während dem Kämpfen keine Zeit habe, also ich meine, ich kann es natürlich auch machen, nach dem Kampf machen. Aber die Sprechblasen, die ich jetzt
Players
schon
under pressure can
finde.
overlook basic tasks, so we try to make the important ones foolproof. On this map, players often forget to check their health level, but rarely forget to seek out Magnuson devices. We narrow doorways and set health supply racks right by the entries, so that players rushing in to get explosives would find themselves automatically picking up vital supplies.
Sounds good.
The Hunter's escort behavior includes specific formations and flanking strategies. This environment was designed specifically to enhance those behaviors by providing cover and visually interesting paths. In this way, the environment reinforces the design of the Hunter as stealthy, aggressive, and intelligent.
Okay.
So, they've sent Freeman, have they? Good man. We've counted a dozen Striders just north of us. Our job is to keep them from reaching the base to the south. If they get close enough for one good shot at the silo, the whole launch is a bust. And in case Striders aren't bad enough, recon indicates they're being escorted by packs of hunters. Now, what I want you to do...
Attention! North perimeter breach. We have a Strider approaching from the cranes.
Fucking hell. Also ich sag's gleich wie es ist. Das Achievement Hunting wird mir sehr gut gefallen.
Strider at the sawmill. Keep an eye out. Looks like hunters are traveling with the Striders. They're working in packs.
Guess what? Komm her, du hässliches Mistvieh.
Now we have a Strider coming in from the water tower.
Okay. Sägewerk verloren. Ja. Das Achievement Hunting. Danach werde ich dieses Spiel nie wieder anfassen. Ah! Nicht mal unbedingt nur wegen dem Achievement Hunting. Also nicht nur wegen diesem Achievement. Fick dich, Dreckvieh. Die Magnuson-Station. Ah, get fucked.
We'll keep this place stocked with help.
Ich werde dieses Achievement Hunting hassen. Weil nämlich dieses Gartenzwerg Achievement, ich glaube Punky hat's mal gemacht. Das muss wohl der blanke Abfuck sein. So, aber das hier, sobald wie du ein Gebäude verloren hast, kriegst du das Achievement nicht mehr.
Only a few Striders left.
Only a few, haha, ihr seid lustig.
We'll keep the outpost stocked with help.
Another Strider coming in towards what used to be the sawmill.
Schön, danke auch. Das Problem ist einfach, sobald wie du das Sägewerk verloren hast, ist eigentlich... Ist es... Ah, du hässlich! Can you fucking die? Wäre nett. So, das wird dann ja nur nicht unbedingt einfacher hier. Es werden dann immer mehr, die auf einmal kommen. Ja, jetzt brauche ich erstmal wieder so ein hässliches Magnus-Gerät. Ja, schick halt noch einen rein. Klar. Das ist eben halt auch so ein wunderschönes Feature, dass man mit geladenem Gravitron nicht sprinten kann. Ich meine, jetzt brauche ich sowieso nicht mal drauf zu achten, ob die Gebäude ganz bleiben oder nicht. Oh. Na gut, die Health Base ist auch am Arsch. Ja, komm her, du hässlicher Hunter. Ah, natürlich. Klar doch. Komm her, hässliches Mistvieh. Statt sonst nur hinzuschießen. Ah! Alter. Jungs, kriegt euch in den Griff. Ja, die Schnauze. Ja, Sigi. Oh. Das ist massiver. Das war's bei weitem noch nicht. Das könnt ihr mal nicht erzählen. Never. Sag ich doch. Wie gesagt, die Striders sind nicht unbedingt das Problem. Das Problem ist, diese hässlichen Hunter rechtzeitig kalt zu machen. Ja, die legen jetzt natürlich auch fein an Geschwindigkeit zu. Hey, fuck you. Ja, halt die Fresse. Wie ich der Angel da verteidigt, oder was?
Looks like that was the last one. Wait a minute. Get ready, everyone. We've spotted dropships carrying even more Striders. We have about a minute before they hit, so gear up. This is gonna get ugly before it's over.
Und ich habe ja hinten natürlich überhaupt keine Magnus-Station mehr. 10 out of 10. So ein Bullshit. Fuck off.
We have a Strider coming in from the crate. Now there's one at the sawmill.
Doch endlich mal runter, ihr hässlichen Mistviecher. Kommst du mal runter, du hässliches Mistvieh? Ich mach gleich hier God Mode und Notclip und dann hat sich die Geschichte. Das ist mir jetzt... Das ist mir zu blöd. Dass man das im Kommentar der Entwickler nicht skippen kann, diesen Scheiß hier. Rotz. Schick halt noch einen rein. Ja klar, schick halt noch einen. Sind ja noch nicht genug. Ja, ist noch 20 auf einmal. Am besten direkt in der Base spawnen. Klingt doch eine gute Idee, oder? Klar suche ich mir wieder den raus, der am weitesten weg ist. Freilich. You can just get fucked. Oh, ist da noch so ein hässliches Mistvieh. Oh, verpiss dich. Fuck's sake. Die NPCs sind mal wieder nutzlos wie Scheiße. Ja, halt die Fresse. Alter, in Ruhe, du hässliches Mistvieh. Fuck off. Das lief im Let's Play wesentlich besser. Bergfresse. Albert, you fuck off.
We did it! We held them off! Good work, everyone!
Ein Schwachsinn.
Attention! The Striders have been defeated! All personnel return to base immediately! Repeat! All personnel return to base immediately!
Halt die Fresse.
Episode 2's rocket defense battle was the largest and most non-linear combat experience we had built. It was also the first combat we created that required the use of a vehicle to move from battle to battle. Our design goal was to give players a broad directive, protect the rocket from incoming Striders, and let them decide how to accomplish that. Playtesting revealed a number of challenges that we had to overcome, as the free-form nature of the map led to huge variation in success for different players. Small differences in skill or tactics radically changed the difficulty of the experience for players. In response, we had to continually tune all aspects of the experience to support the wide variety of tactics and skill levels demonstrated in playtests.
Das Easter Egg ist eben halt am schwersten.
Many players had a hard time orienting themselves in the valley. Before the fight, we send players to the sawmill without telling them how to get there. This was a way of familiarizing them with the map without any time pressure. Still, the size and nonlinearity of the map was confusing for first-time players once the battle began. The loudspeaker announcements that direct players to incoming Striders initially referred to compass directions, which most players couldn't follow because they couldn't remember which way was north. We added White Forest Peak as a global landmark and distinctive local landmarks like the cranes and the water tower, and referred to those landmarks in the announcements instead of compass directions. This helped, but some players still had a hard time knowing which way to go at any given moment. Our ultimate solution was the car's radar, which, along with the landmarks, helps players go where the action is.
Arena-Kämpfe sind trotzdem scheiße. Schon abgearbeitet. Ja, unten waren noch welche.
Before we create any final art, we use placeholders to see if the gameplay is working, and to figure out the proper dimensions and shapes for the model. In this level, we used an old pumpkin model as the placeholder for the Magnuson device. After we decided that the gameplay was fun and the pumpkin worked well, a proper model was created using the pumpkin as a template.
Okay. Ja gut, macht Sinn. Ehe du jetzt nur aufwendig irgendwie ein Modell erstellst und das dann nicht nimmst.
To create a climactic finish to this level, we ramped up Strider density and citizen presence, and then systematically destroyed outer installations in order to move the action as uncomfortably close to the base as possible. It was important to us that everybody be able to play to the end of the episode, but we also wanted them to feel that defeating the Striders required a heroic effort. A balance had to be achieved between the feeling of being overwhelmed and the possibility of completing the level. We made many trade-offs to keep the experience enjoyable while keeping the intensity high, and sometimes this required removing enemies. For example, elite Combine soldiers originally took part in this invasion, running in and around the Striders and Hunters, but this additional level of enemy fire proved frustrating for players, and so they were removed.
Das wär's noch gewesen. Noch so jeder hätten
We
Combine
made
damit
some small
rumrennen.
changes to our autosave system as a result of tuning the final Strider battle. Autosaves are the periodic checkpoints where we can restart the player's game after death, so that they don't have to worry about replaying more of the game than necessary. In playtests, we observed that most players depended on our autosaves to restart after dying, rather than using their own quick saves. But because the fight allowed players so much freedom, some players ended up with an autosave that left them in a no-win situation. Low on health and pinned down by hunters, or too far from the base to defend the rocket in time, some players failed 30 or more times before finally giving up. To address the no-win situation, we extended our autosave system to monitor health over time, and to only perform the autosave if the player was deemed safe for a reasonable period of time. We also prohibited autosaves when Striders were within a certain distance of the base. This ensured there was always enough time to defeat them.
Ich hasse es trotzdem.
Hey, Gordon Freeman.
Good job, Gordon.
Wow. Thanks, Freeman.
Ah.
Good going.
Wow, Gordon. You were amazing out there.
Not really.
Come on.
So, müsste ja eigentlich auch jetzt Kapitelende sein. Wenn ich mich recht entsinne.
Is in its final stages.
Sag ich doch. Gut, alles klar. Das sehen wir in der nächsten Folge und ich mache jetzt erstmal einen kurzen also hier Session Break. Na dann, bis zur nächsten Folge und nächsten Kapitel. Bis dahin, macht's gut.